Hey kids, this is Aaron from the podcast That Wouldn't Die, and Kevin and I use Zencastr. You think you're better than us, that you're using something else? You're wrong. Zencastr's the place to be. Who are you to deny it?
It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Log in using your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code DIEHARD and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. We want you to have the same experiences we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time for you to share your story.
Only a fool would give up a chance for a 30% discount.
What is it you like to talk about?
My patient. Hi. I know you're nervous. I just want to have a chat.
I'm seeing something no one else can see except for me. It's smiling at me. Oh my God!
Welcome to the latest episode of the podcast That Wouldn't Die. I'm your host, Kevin. With me, as always, is Aaron.
Ciao.
This week, we're discussing the horror classic, Smile, starring Kevin Bacon's daughter, whose name escapes me at the moment.
Working actors, various people,
100%. And other vaguely recognizable faces.
and all the rest.
Each week on the podcast, we discuss guilty pleasures and forgotten classics of the horror and sci-fi genres with a comedic twist. Aaron, what's up? What's the latest?
Why is TikTok and why am I fascinated? I don't watch sports. I'm not sure I've ever seen a basketball game, professional, like all the way through on
Or
a
in the
television. But TikTok keeps sending me Dennis Rodman and Larry Bird stuff, which I'm
Okay.
compelled to watch. It's fascinating to me. I was just listening to Dennis Rodman, and honestly, he sounds exactly like Rick James in those old Dave Chappelle, Charlie Murphy things with Rick
Those are the
James.
best. Those are the best.
I saw the outtakes where it's just the full interview with Rick James. I was like, oh shit, he sounds exactly like Dennis Rodman. So
Dennis
I was
is an
just listening
interesting
to the one.
character.
It was Michael Jordan bitching about Rodman because he needed a break, so he had to go to Vegas, and then he didn't show up for practice, so that the Lakers had to go get him, or whatever team he was playing
Right,
for.
the Bulls. The Bulls had to go
Yeah,
get
see,
him.
I don't even know.
No,
And
he
people,
did.
and Michael Jordan is so angry even right now talking about it.
Because he was kind of a weirdo, is really the best way to describe
He is
it.
a weirdo. Remember, he was going to North Korea and hanging out.
Yes.
He's like Trump. They have this. They must mix in the same circles because they have the same friends.
100%.
Kim Il Jong.
Well, I read Dennis Rodman's book years and years ago, and they talked about how he was literally working as a janitor at an airport, and he had a growth spurt, at 20, that made him grow like 9 inches, out
Wow.
of nowhere. And then suddenly he was super athletic and was able to do all this stuff. And because he was primarily a defensive player, he basically cultivated this outlandish persona, because otherwise, who gives a damn?
They said he was. The interviews say he was very good. They were showing all his crazy shit that he did, and
He was a
pissing
great
everybody
defender.
off.
He was a great rebounder, and then he kind of, the part of his personality was like, he's horrible at scoring and like loves that he's horrible. Like he'll just kind of throw the ball up, but he does these other things that are important, but he just can't score. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. He dated Madonna, all sorts of crazy shit.
Oh yeah,
Anyway.
oh yeah. It was insane. He was on I watched every reality TV show back in his day that he was on. And then the
100%.
other one they keep showing me is Larry Bird trash talking and people telling stories of what Larry Bird would whisper in their ears out on the court to freak them out. They refuse to be
Yes.
friends with anybody. He's like looking at you, then spitting at you. And
Well, he was crazy because obviously he was a white boy from Indiana,
right.
basically, who was not athletic at all. Like couldn't jump over a garden hose, essentially, but was a killer. Like he could just shoot from anywhere. He's a great passer, and he did. They said he talked the most hellacious trash to everybody, and people were just
They
like
keep
horrified.
showing the same thing where he's complaining because they had a white guy defend
Right.
against
You
him.
insult
And he was
me.
like,
You put
he's
a
like,
white
he
guy
was
on me.
insulted. Yeah.
You know better to put a white boy on me. Yeah, it was kind of his attitude. Crazy. Anyway.
So, but I don't know why. It's probably because I paused one too many times and I keep watching it though.
That's what
'Cause
happens.
Lord
algorithm.
knows I can watch a documentary or show about anything, even if I don't care about it, as long as it's interesting.
Well, they get you. I was on, this is years ago, I was on like Facebook, because they have their own version, Facebook Reels or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And there was like some picture of like an attractive lady. I'm like, ooh, what's this? And I clicked on it, and it was just like some meaningless thing. And then suddenly I'm just deluged.
Boom, boom, boom.
Just nonstop, like girls getting on elevators going, ooh, is this on my floor? And you're like, why is this a video? What is-
Mhm.
Exactly.
This is not even available. They like, we got you now. And now it's
Right.
ruined for the day. You have to go off and start over again because you're ruined. Because once you see it, then that's all you get. And you're like,
100%.
this, it broke. But Reels to TikTok, I mean, one is Nordstrom and one is the Dollar Tree.
The Dollar Tree. How dare you. I think you're going to say it's Macy's and Gimbals, but it's not.
It's
is what you're
not
saying.
Macy's and Gimbals. It is not.
Sweet
And
Jesus.
the other thing I wanted to talk about, I watched The Monster of Florence on Netflix.
How was it?
It was kind of upsetting. It was high tension. It was pretty
Mhm.
good. So I don't know if there's another season because I talked to my associate in Florence because this was huge. I mean, there were people suspected that this was the Zodiac killer had gone
right.
over there. Or maybe he was ex-military, maybe he was stationed, but I don't know what's near Florence. So it ends with, there's so many theories. It ends with the first killer and introduces the idea that everybody told me about is really who they think it is.
Is it a documentary?
So I don't know if
or-
there's no, it's a dramatization.
Okay. That sounds
But
good.
it is in Italian, so you'll have to read the subtitles. But it's still very gripping. Everybody is very disturbed, and it's icky. And I'm
Well, it's
surprised.
based upon a
They're
not a
Italian
novel, but
TV.
a nonfiction book that's written by one of the guys that I read all their stuff. I read their fiction, but he also wrote
Right.
this nonfiction. Anyway, now that
So
you-
there might be a second season. Normally I watch these Italian dramas like the Medici, and they're just fucking trash. They're the Medici one. You think I'd be down with that? It had fucking Dustin Hoffman playing like Lorenzo the Magnificent. I was like, what? Lorenzo the
That's so
Magnificent was
weird.
a short little Jewish fella.
that's how they did. That's acting.
It's
Sweet.
acting. No, it was terrible, and it had one of the guys from Game of Thrones. I was like, oh great, this is gonna be interesting. I mean, the Medici had a finger in every pie. I was like, what is this shit? It was not the Borgias, I'll tell you that.
I'm very much of, you gotta have kind of the same accent through the actors. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody needs to be sporting
Jesus
the same
Christ.
accent when you do these kind of things. You know what I mean?
That's a basic. If you want to all use your British accent, but there can't be like the one American accent.
100%. That's what always messes it up.
Just Sicilian coming through, or
Right. It's like you guys got to have
Bullshit.
accent clarity. I remember, and I think I've said this before, on Game of Thrones, the first season, when they cast Sean Bean to be Ned Stark and
Right.
said, you're the representative from the North. Now everybody had to do the Sean Bean accent. Richard Madden,
That's
who's like
right.
Scottish, had to do
He's supposed
that
to be
accent.
Scottish.
Right. So they all did that. They all basically cultivated a similar enough sounding accent to make it sound like they're all from the same place. And they were all British anyway, for the most part.
Right.
But they're like,
I
no,
mean,
that's not
that
close
should
enough.
be a basic. If you can't do it, you know what? You're not the only person who could play that part.
I agree.
Acting is a combination of luck, knowing people, and having people like you.
I mean, there's skill involved.
You
as
can
well,
be,
Aaron.
no, I mean, assuming their skill. There's a lot of great actors out there that are not in any movies. You know what I mean?
No,
It's
that's
not
true.
just about who's the best actor in the world. There's all these other things that come into play.
Well, and it's also a case of you can be a great actor and who's not great at accents, basically, right? You could be somebody. Not everybody's Meryl Streep or Kevin Kline, right? So.
Dude, clearly you're bringing up Sophie's Choice, which is still haunts me. Why did I see that in junior high?
Oh, Jesus, don't do it. Just don't do it.
Scarred.
Anywho, why don't we jump right in? Give us your 30-second synopsis of Smile.
Smiles is not
Smile.
quite as Smile is not quite as fun as It Follows, but it's the same premise.
I was thinking that too. Similar.
The end.
That's it?
That's all
Jesus.
you need to know.
God
I mean, honestly, I liked It Follows. I mean, really, you can just give it back and forth until you don't care anymore and then kill yourself.
Just pass it back and forth.
If you have a circle of friends, or you go out and find the local monster and pass it to them.
Interesting. I was talking about this, that there were movies that I kind of missed, right? Smile was one of these. Black Phone was another one of these movies where it's like I'd
Didn't
heard of
see
them,
that either.
but I hadn't seen them. And then I'm like, well, whatever. Maybe I'll get around to it eventually. But then a few years later, the sequel comes out, which makes me go like, well, if it was good enough for a sequel, maybe I should make a point to go and watch these first movies. So that's what we did with Smile. So good stuff.
Yeah. And then I saw our local TV dude was like, oh, it's the top five movies. I wouldn't go that far.
Top 5 of what? What does that mean?
Horror movies.
Of all time? Of the year?
I don't know. Of his recommendation.
Of the last
I'll
week?
have to ask him next time he takes my ticket when I go to a concert.
Because
our local dude is also the docent at the art museum. He works part-time at the Fox Theater for concerts. I literally see him everywhere. I saw him at an estate sale.
Okay, what does that mean when you say our local dude? What the hell does that mean?
Our local news movie guy.
Like on the news? Oh, like you're talking about
yes.
like flipping channels.
On Bakersfield, Channel 17.
Okay, gotcha. I just think
and then they have like the split screen where he's interviewing like some of the actors. He's allowed to give them one question or something.
Just one as they walk by.
Dude, it's one of those press things. You can tell like they've been sitting there for hours, and all this is like, hey, it's Jimmy Joe out of Fresno, and it's Sally Mae from Butte County calling in. This is a great show. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, he said it was on his top 5. Smile was on his top 5 movies.
Yes.
Do you remember?
I was like, really? Because the ads look like someone who was developmentally delayed came up with it. I don't know.
Oh, come on. The ads, I remember seeing.
The big smile, I was like, no, this is trash.
Really?
And quite frankly, that didn't need to be even part of it. In fact, half the time, people weren't even smiling. There weren't as many smiles as you thought there would be.
Okay, fair enough.
The way they played it.
Anyway,
not that I wanted more. I don't think we needed them at all.
But that's the hook. The creepy smile is the hook. That's how you know that this person is not the person you think they are. It's the smile demon. That's the hook.
All right. I mean, it's The Ring. It follows. It's not as good, but it's that new kind of genre. The pass it on to save your life. Really? If she gave a shit, she should have just killed herself. I thought that's what she was doing in the cabin. Because
That's
I
what I
don't
thought,
understand.
too.
Yeah, what was the point of going back to her mom's rickety old slum house? It's not about her fighting a demon, because this happens to everybody.
No, I think she was trying to. We're just jumping right in. I think
Yeah.
what it was is that they know. Well, the reveal is basically when the demon gets you, the smile demon gets you, you kill yourself in a particularly traumatic way in front of someone else so that they are now traumatized and now the demon is stuck on them. So I think on
Right.
some level, she was
It
like,
feeds off the trauma.
100%. I think she was going to go someplace isolated so that there would be no one else around. So then the demon wouldn't kill her because the demon is waiting for her to have an audience, essentially.
Right.
That's the most important thing.
Right.
So why don't we go back to the beginning, shall we? Kevin Bacon, her name's like Sosie Bacon, and I can't remember her character's name, whatever that may be.
Doesn't matter.
She works as what, like a psychiatrist or a psychologist, a therapist or something at the hospital, right? The insane asylum or whatever it is.
Right.
And a woman comes in who no history of mental illness and basically says, hey, you know, I witnessed this suicide and now this thing is following me around. No one else can see it but me. And
Right.
It does a scary smile all the time. And it can look like people I know, but I know it's not them because there's this, it's a creepy smile with the dead eyes. The eyes are not happy. And that's how I know. And then the girl basically screams, flips out, and then jumps up with a creepy smile on her face and then slits her throat right in front of Sosie Bacon.
Right.
And that's how the shit goes down.
So old Sosie, I mean, she seems the perfect part. She is like as thin as a rail. She looks like she is so high strung. And repressed at the same time. As her character was interesting. She was constantly apologizing for any emotion that would come out.
Right. 100%.
Again, with the worst boyfriend. Sorry. Sorry. They're going to put him in a bear suit at the next time they go on vacation in Sweden.
Well, the thing was, is they established that as a child, her mother had mental illness.
Right.
And had basically had killed herself with pills while she was like 10 or something.
Right.
And then later in the movie, it's revealed that the mom kind of went to the girl, or the girl went to the mom and the mom had said, hey, I've made a mistake, call for help. Meaning she knew she'd taken the pills and now had a moment of clarity, was not wanting to commit suicide anymore. And rather than call for help, the little girl had just left her to die.
She just had enough. Enough of crazy mom.
Well, she said in her redemption arc at the end, where she's talking to the hallucination, basically just saying, hey, you know, I was a child. I was afraid of you. You know, this is why I did what I did. Blah, 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 blah. So,
I'm afraid of you. Good.
So
she didn't say I took too many pills. This is probably something she says all the time. I need your help. Clean up the bed. I mess myself. I need your help. She didn't say I took too many pills. Call an ambulance.
Oh, so see, I took it that she was being very clear about I had tried to kill myself. I had taken pills to kill myself, but now I have regret. But I'm too weak to do anything about it. You didn't take it that way?
I missed that. Yeah, I assumed it was, this is probably some kind of alcoholic kind of character. Okay. Besides being crazy, she's self-medicating. That's what I was thinking.
Fair
but
enough.
Then, of course, it's revealed that is not the case.
Right.
So you're much more perceptive.
So now, exactly. So now, Sosie, who to me looks just, I mean, if you told me she's Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick's daughter, she could be no one else's daughter. This girl looks like a combination of those two. Don't you agree?
Yes, and I've never seen anybody look so incredibly different, hair down, hair up. They look like she looks like two different people. Am I
It's a
right or am
thing.
I right?
It's a thing. It's a thing. So she's now starting to have these hallucinations, these kind of terrifying hallucinations. And so
And
she's
her
trying
doctor wouldn't give her medication,
well, I think what it was, because
which is bizarre to me.
I think it was a case of she hadn't been to see her therapist in a while. And her doctor was like, and she's like calling her up out of the blue saying, hey, can you prescribe some shit? Like that's the first words out of her mouth.
But what she asked for isn't like something that's about to be abused. And quite frankly, she
know.
could have gone somewhere else.
Oh, maybe so. I mean, she didn't say, give me some meth or something, as far as I could tell.
I mean, I have a lot of kids with ADHD, and Risperidol is usually what while it is an anti-hallucinatory, it is also given to people to take at night, like who are on ADHD medication, so they can go to sleep.
Okay. So you are familiar with this thing that she
I was
asking
familiar
for.
with that.
Oh, well, then there you go. These are just words when she was just saying, I
am like a doctor.
You, you're an amateur doctor.
No,
100%.
I always like throwing out to my doctors. I'm going to see a doctor about headaches. I'm like, you got any of that Oxy 800 that I saw in the movie? They're like, if we had Oxy 800, all our windows would be smashed with people trying to come in and get it. I was like, oh,
zombies.
Okay, so that's a no.
You go right to the source. What do you got in that cupboard? I'll take whatever you got. Just start pouring in my bag. So her boyfriend or fiance, it's actually her fiance, is not particularly sympathetic, and it's just very much like, well, there is a history of mental illness in your family. So is this how it's going to be now? That you're just going to be?
He was not committed. He really seemed like he just needed one box unchecked, and he was out. He was there because she it's like she fit this profile he was looking for. He doesn't want to know anything about her personality. He Googled whether she was going to go crazy and decided, oh, it was worth a risk. He didn't want it. He didn't want his life disturbed in any way, and was not interested in anything going on with her.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder about this, where it's like,
and that's what she wanted, because it sounded like she's unable to connect emotionally. So she wanted the robot husband. I mean, that's who she sought out. Someone who's not going to ask questions.
Well, it's basically her and her older sister. Her older sister pieced early on from her house with the crazy mom, so she was left alone. And they both kind of dealt with the trauma in different ways. Like the sister went and got married and has kids and is trying to live this idyllic existence, at least in comparison to the craziness to which she came from. Where the younger sister basically became a mental health professional because of this. And I guess
it's like special ed. Half the people in special ed are because someone in their family is in special ed.
Right. I mean, and that makes sense. So they're both dealing with it in their own ways. Now, Sosie Bacon, as she goes, she's doing a great job of showing kind of the desperation that makes her look kind of crazy to the people around her. And it's one of those things like, what would you do if this was a real life situation where somebody you knew to be a calm, level-headed person was now acting all twitchy and scratchy? How would you behave?
Well, it's interesting. Clearly, her sister drew a line. She's like, I drew a line with mom. Now I'm drawing a line with you. I feel like they were not close at all.
Didn't seem
because it's the little sister you left me behind. And it's natural for the older sister to go to college and move on with their life.
Right.
And it's the little sister's resentment of that. So it probably is carried over. It's not like they're calling and chit-chatting with each other on the phone. So it was already strained. So now you're showing up doing crazy stuff. Here's the new line. Peace.
Right.
They don't have the relationship where I'm going to go, you need to go get help, and I'm going to go help you.
Right. Well, they established they had kind of a weird relationship because right after Sosie had witnessed the murder they went out to dinner that night with her sister and her sister's bizarre husband.
Yes.
And it was very much like they were not very concerned about the fact that she just witnessed a suicide on the floor, and were more concerned like, well, you should sell the old rickety house, and we should cash that, and what are we doing? And like it was a weird dynamic.
Yeah, it was. It was sister doesn't want anything to do with you. I'm not emotionally investing in you or whatever's going on in your life.
So after she has her big blowout with her fiance, we had earlier in the movie met one of the cops who came to investigate the death was like an ex-boyfriend, essentially. That she had later, it's revealed, she had sent packing because he got too serious too fast. And she wasn't ready for that. She
didn't want. That's not what she wants. She doesn't want that intense emotional connection.
Fear of commitment on some level.
Fear of commitment. But it was bizarre that when you sit down to interview someone, you'd be like, oh, hang on, I know this person. I can't.
Right. By the way,
can't be here for this. By the by.
And they didn't.
I was her bone daddy.
Right. They did not establish that during the actual interview. It was the fact that he came back the next day and said, hey, I just want to see how you're holding up. You know, remember that time how we used to hold hands and walk along it's like, well, hang on. What? Yeah. Okay, so you guys used to be.
I hear laughter in the rain, walking hand in hand. Yeah.
With Neil Sedaka. 100%.
Not gay, by the way. Not gay.
Just like Air Supply, we discovered to our shock.
It is true. Also shocking.
And Depeche Mode, frankly. The list goes on and on.
Dude, Dave Gahan. I just watched the new movie at the theater. Me and 15 other Depeche Mode hardcore fans here in Bakersfield. Yep.
But so what was it about? Was it like a concert video or what was it?
It was kind of like what they do. This is my third Depeche Mode movie I saw. They'll like on a tour. They'll pick one city or something to focus on. So this time it was Mexico City, 3 days, 200,000 people. And they interweave the tour is Memento Mori. Remember, we must die. So they interweave that with the psyche of Mexico and Day of the Dead and stuff like that. So it was interesting. I mean, we saw the tail end of that.
See, I want like a origin movie where they go like, here's how we met. This is how we kicked Vince Clarke out of the band.
I want the Ryan Murphy one where Vince Clarke was like, "F you,
100%." Absolutely.
Did you watch the one on the Sex Pistols? That was good because Chrissy Hines plays a big role because she used to date one of the people.
The character, not the actress, is what you're saying.
The character who plays or Chrissy Hines used to date what is it, Mick Jones or something from the Sex Pistols, and it interweaves Vivian Westwood all through it. It was really good.
Sid and Nancy were interviewed and the whole deal.
Sid and Nancy. Oh my god, that was so depressing. That's so upsetting.
So anyway, She discovers, because she knew that the woman who committed suicide had witnessed a suicide however many days prior. And then when they investigate that suicide, they discover that suicide had witnessed a suicide. So then they're going back, and her new rekindled relationship with the police officer is like doing the research. And he said, I went back 20 times. There were 19 suicides in 20 of these cases. And the one time that it wasn't a suicide, the guy had murdered somebody else. And basically
in a horrific manner in front of somebody else.
Right. So she goes to, and that guy's in jail now, I guess. And she goes and interviews that guy. And it's that same kind of thing. They witnessed a traumatic event. You start seeing horrific hallucinations of a smiling, like everybody's around you giving you creepy smiles. And it's that impending sense of dread. And he figured out, he said he did his own research about somebody in, Mexico City, ironically.
Right.
Who had murdered somebody So you got to do it in front of other people because you got to pass the trauma along. And
What if more than one person sees it?
I don't know. That's a good question. That's a question. So one thing, because she's presenting herself as though she's the therapist of somebody going through this. And he says, what you have to do is kill somebody in a kind of a splashy manner, in something truly horrific, so that it is truly traumatizing. And she kind of spills the beans. I'm not going to kill anybody. And at that point, he realizes she's the one. Yeah. And he starts flipping out saying, get her out of here. Get her away from me. Yeah. Because he doesn't want her to kill herself in front of him. And then he gets the bug again.
Both this guy and the police officer did their research. So you see multiple chains, but no one discussed, so what's the origin of the chain?
Right.
What starts it?
What starts?
Not discussed.
How is it that no one has investigated this prior? Right? You think it would be noteworthy. Oh, this person just committed suicide. And a week ago, we interviewed them because they witnessed a suicide. You think somebody else would already have started to investigate this chain prior to this. No one cares. No. Like, whatever.
Everybody doing basic with their jobs.
Doing basic.
But I would be like, yeah, I killed my neighbor, but let me tell you why. And then have my person, my attorney.
Your person.
Here's the chain. Oh
your dude.
I'm gonna have my dude.
Problem, as always, is people think you're crazy. No one's gonna listen to you.
So I'm telling the truth. I'm presenting the information, and I'm also crazy.
And both can be true. I'm like the Joker.
And both can be true. I could be in one of those Ed Gein sanatoriums or a cuckoo nest. I don't know if that's worse or better.
100%. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean people aren't out to get you.
That's true.
100%. So good stuff had by all. Now, I will say, and you seem to disagree, there are moments in truly good horror movies where I get the chill up the spine. Something happens. There's a moment, and I feel a little twinge where I'm like, ooh, that was a creepy moment. This movie had a couple of those.
Yeah.
This is it. When she's talking to the therapist comes to her house and says, hey, I'm sorry the way things have been going. Let's sit down and chit-chat about it. And they're talking about it. And then the phone rings. And it's her therapist on the phone. And she goes,
that was good.
And she looks at the therapist, and the therapist slowly does the creepy smile. I was like, oh, I'm feeling
that was
something.
Good.
This is real. That's how I judge it. Look, I can enjoy horror movies for a variety of different reasons, right? There's the Halloween 3 Season of the Witch movies. I don't get the twinkle on the spine for those movies. Those are just hilarious and bizarre. But movies like The Conjuring, where you're like, ooh, this is I'm feeling creepiness coming out of this. I felt that in this movie. So there you go. You disagree or you agree?
No, there was some good stuff. There was some good stuff going on.
Fair, but you just thought it was a rip.
I don't know why the smile irritated me. I was like,
fair. I think
I was conflicted. I would say I enjoyed the movie, but I was conflicted at the end how I really felt about it.
Fair. I definitely did notice.
It was much better than I thought it would be. How about that?
Yeah, that's fair. I did notice the kind of connection to It Follows, because it is that kind of thing. There's some kind of demonic entity who is after you, and you pass it along to the next person. Now,
it's the videotape from The Ring. It's your vajayjay. It follows.
Right, 100%. But that's the thing, is it's like, and It Follows, if you want to pass it on, you just knock some boots. I mean, that's not a bad way to do it.
Right.
And
did we calculate how long it would take to get you? Like if you went to Europe, how would it get to Europe? Would it walk under the bottom of? Remember we had this whole thing where like, okay, Walking from here to there
Right.
buys you like, dude, a couple months. You can just
'Cause that's
relax.
correct. 'Cause
Once you
that's
see it creeping around your window, time to go back home. Till
time to
It
bounce.
Follows gets angry and tired and gives up.
Because It Follows is an actual physical thing. Now, no one else can see it but you, but it's actually
Right.
walking along. So if you just get in the car and drive, it's going to be further behind you. Whereas this kind of entity just kind of pops up every now and
Yeah.
again and gives you the creepy smile. And it could be somebody you know, it could be a stranger. And sometimes you don't see him at all. There's no
Right.
rhyme or
Because it's
reason.
all hallucination anyway.
Unclear, because it grabs her a couple times, if I'm remembering correctly. Now, there's a thrilling conclusion in this movie where she goes to her creepy mom's abandoned shack in the woods, as one does,
Right.
and tries to have a throwdown with the spirit. And when it initially starts to change and become tall and that gave me a little creepy moment as well. Yeah.
That was good. That was good. The terrifying mother monster.
Right. So she tries to have that moment of redemption where she kind of says, it wasn't my fault. You know, I'm not going to carry this anymore. She has this moment. And the demon says basically, but I'm in your mind. And her response is, I know, you're in my mind. And she kind of has a moment and like hits the demon on the head with a lantern. And you think, oh, we're all set. Problem solved.
Problem solved.
Good. Wrong. It was all a trick. And now the boyfriend's showing up to say, hey, is everything okay? And there's that twist where she basically pours kerosene over herself and lights herself on fire in front of the boyfriend. So now he's traumatized and he's got the demon on him. Credits roll. I was like, dark ending, not a Hollywood ending. This is not promising.
She should have gone. The whole confronting mom, that was ridiculous. Your options are you're locking yourself in this house to die because it's going to take control of you at some point, or you just go and kill yourself. Those are your only two options.
Well, what could you do? Could you go like basically become a hermit somewhere?
You have to get food somehow.
Well,
and the minute somebody shows up, that's all it takes because it's waiting.
But what if you do like an Amazon Fresh order, right? And you don't answer until
they drop it off. No, because the thing knows it's waiting. I feel like the minute, just like with the boyfriend, the minute someone shows up, it's on. There's no way you can avoid it because meanwhile, sister and brother-in-law want to sell this house.
That's true.
They don't know where you are. Yeah.
So you're right. Then at that point is, how badly do you want to live? Are you willing to just blow your brains out, privately while no one else is around just to end the curse?
Right.
Or are you going to do what the homie did in the prison and just murder somebody just to pass along the curse?
The only way that you're going to live, because they never bothered to figure this out, is to kill someone. So you either have to kill someone and spend your life in prison,
because you have to have a witness.
Or kill yourself.
You have to kill somebody in front of a witness, which means you're going to prison.
Right. And how do you beat the uncontrollable force? I mean, the thing crawls inside you. I don't know. It must have been early in the countdown. That's all I can think of. Because at this point, her time has really run out. The demon's with her all the time. So I don't see how she would have an opportunity this late in the game to kill someone. I feel like the minute, just like in this, the minute someone else showed up, the creature crawls inside you.
Well, but I don't know if the creature cares, right? As long as it gets its trauma. I don't know.
Maybe.
That's a question. Because they basically said that no one has lasted more than 7 days. And some didn't even get to 4. Few people, it was
that's
like
what
4
I'm
days.
saying.
It was their ticket was punched.
So really, she is selfish for not killing herself,
right? Because you're gonna. It's basically You could just do like pop some sleeping pills and then go to La La Land, right? Or
It's not like It Follow or The Ring where you're like, okay, we're gonna do this. Let me front load you, and we can all live.
Right.
So people die one way or another.
right.
You
And if
can't
you
just
let the,
make a copy of a tape and send it on. No, someone's gonna die no matter what.
if you do it the demon way, it's going to be the demon way is horrific because it's got to be traumatic.
Right.
So that's a question. That's a
There
question.
you go.
So anyway, any last thoughts about
I'm sure
Smile?
Smile 2 covers the origins and the cure and all that. You know, it's all Michael Myers until at the end Michael Myers disappears and gets up and runs away. That's the only thing. I like to
Unclear.
be able to wrap things up. Yeah, I have a couple things to talk about.
Lay it on
How
me.
about the dead cat in the present to her nephew?
Like, how
First
the hell
of
did
all,
that happen? We're supposed to think that the girl, like, she flipped out in a
wrapped
fugue
him
state,
up.
killed her own cat
Well,
mustache, and put it in a
Right.
bag for the nephew's birthday, who's also traumatized. So does he have a demon inside him as well now? Unclear.
Well, so then where's the train? But anyway, the thing would be stiff as a board, and what kid is going to pick up a dead cat? And it's going to start being bloated. This is
It's
the
stinky.
next day. Rigor mortis is set in.
Correct.
I found that stupid when he
I
picked
agree.
it up, and then it looked like it was asleep. Yeah. What
Well,
you
it was
want is
relative-
some all f***ed up cat. That's what you
It
like.
was
Stiff
relative-
f***ed up. No kid's going to pick that up. What's this? Is this a dead cat?
waving around by its tail. It seemed relatively early in the possession or whatever, right? It wasn't like
Right.
because she went to the birthday party of the nephew, evidently killed her cat and wrapped it up for the kid who waved it around the room, and then she screamed because she saw hallucination and threw herself back through the glass table, and that was the end of that.
And no one gave a shit. Everybody was like,
"Whoops,
burn,
thanks
witch,
for ruining
burn.
the party,
Get
buzzkill."
out, never come back. Yeah, so she has a crappy sister, a crappy boyfriend, a dead cat.
Yep.
Did you notice they have the Sackler pain assessment scale while she was in the doctor's office? That
Yes.
reminded me of my 800 milligrams. She should have got some of that. Yeah, that's it.
Why don't we go behind the scenes, shall we?
Let's go.
Let's see. A couple of days before the September 30th, 2022 release, actors from the film showed up at various baseball games, sitting behind home plate, dead still and smiling while staring into the camera. How about that?
Meryl Streep wouldn't do that.
Unmoving despite fans in the background being understandably concerned.
Good
stuff.
Lord.
They soon appeared in the background
That's
of the crowd of
viral.
the Today Show as well. So, good stuff.
That's a cry
the-
for help.
The smiles in the film are all natural and not enhanced with visual effects. And when the studio asked them if they could be tweaked digitally, the director said no. They wanted to be grounded in their creepiness. So there you go. Paramount originally planned for the film with a low budget of $17 million to be a streaming only release on Paramount Plus, but the film was screened for test audiences and scored much higher than anticipated. So they gave it a theatrical release instead.
Nice.
And it grossed over $217 million worldwide. Not bad.
Not bad.
Parker Finn, who's the writer and the director, told the actors that he wanted dead eyes that do not match an incredibly uncomfortable, wide, tooth-bearing smile that was meant to feel predatory in nature. And I thought it worked. It was creepy.
I didn't realize the smiles were not enhanced. They do look super crazy.
They do. They do. The film was originally titled Something's Wrong with Rose before being renamed Smile.
I prefer Something's Wrong with Rose.
There's a movie
No,
called
I
We
think
Need to
that
Talk
sounds
About
good.
Kevin. That's another one.
Yeah, we do need to talk about Kevin.
Wah, wah. Parker Finn says he wanted to create a film that feels like an escalating nightmare that happens because the evil in the film uses a smile as a mask to hide its true intentions.
Yep.
Let's see. The film opened up #1 domestically with a strong 22.6 million, but managed to play strongly through October and November, buoyed by solid reviews and word of mouth. It stayed in the top 10 for over 2 months and grossed over 100 million. Good stuff.
Very nice.
The title screen doesn't appear until 13 minutes into the movie. So,
Who
good
cares?
stuff. Who cares?
It could
First of all,
not
how
appear
dare
at
you?
all.
Let's talk about the cast and crew, shall we?
Let's go.
Okay. Let's see. It was written and directed by Parker Finn. You know him from such things as Smile, Smile 2, Laura Hasn't Slept, which was a short in 2020. And
How about Aaron doesn't sleep well? She has sleep apnea. That's my next movie.
the Hide Behind, a short in 2018. Anything else? That's it. He's only directed Smile,
Couple of
Smile
shorts.
2, and 2 short films. Interesting. Let's see. We talked about Sosie Bacon, played Rose Cotter. Welcome back, Mrs. Cotter. You know, Mr. Cotter. You know her from Smile in 2022.
Yes.
She was in What We Got Wrong in 2024. It's a short.
I'm familiar. So she did
was
a
in
bunch of shorts for
11
the director.
episodes of 13 Reasons Why, the TV series. Do you know about that?
Never watched that. I know what it's about, but I never saw it.
And in 2005, she played 10-year-old Emily in Loverboy. How about that?
Was she working for the weekend?
Everybody's working for the weekend. Anybody else you want to know?
No, who's the doctor? Because she's been in 1,000 things.
Robin Weigert played Dr. Madeline Northcott. You know her from 36 episodes of Deadwood. She was Calamity Jane.
That's right. That's right. I just rewatched that recently. Deadwood was so good. It had the shittiest ending.
She was in Synecdoche, New York in 2008. She was in The Good German in 2006. And she was in Smile in 2022.
She's done some other shit, but she was insane as Calamity Jane in Deadwood. If you haven't seen Deadwood,
Deadwood's great.
You gotta see Deadwood.
Anybody else you want to know about?
Not a goddamn one.
Not a goddamn one. Let's talk about the rating, shall we?
Okay.
Smile currently has on Rotten Tomatoes 80% fresh. Do you know what the audience gave it?
78?
77.
Ooh.
How about that?
Yeah, I would say it's a high C. That sounds about right.
Jesus. Let's look at the top critics here. Nick Shager of the Daily Beast says, catnip for teens venturing out to the multiplex with friends on a Friday night. How about that?
Yeah. Go to any of these horror movies opening Friday at about 7 o'clock and clock. Who else is there with you?
Absolutely. Peter Bradshaw from The Guardian says, the movie is a shard of comic and cosmic spite, and the image of the malign smile carries force. 4 out of 5.
I got no comic about anything. I did not smile, nor did I laugh or guffaw once.
Perry Nemiroff says, a catchy and unsettling urban legend-like concept with a phenomenal lead performance from Sosie Bacon at its core. Smile marks yet another win for horror in 2022. 3.5 out of 5.
I will say Sosie Bacon did a good job.
She was really she was good.
I thought her performance was nuanced. I thought she was solid. I'm sure she can go on and do other things, but yeah, she's like her parents. She's like as thin as it's nothing but sinew and beef jerky. So beef thin jerky. And taut. It reminded me of our fake cousins.
Who are our fake cousins, by the way? I want to put,
I can't
their
say
names on.
that. The people who we thought were our cousins, and then when I was 15, we realized they are only the children of our mother's best friend.
Yes. I know.
Tight
exactly.
as a tick, super excelling, and covering up loads of horror.
And mental illness.
And mental illness. Yay.
Let's talk to our resident in-house movie critic, AI Rex Reed, shall we?
Let's go.
Smile is 2 hours of trauma cosplay and creepy grins stretched thinner than the script, proving that jump scares and therapy sessions make uneasy bedfellows.
Huh. That wasn't very snarky.
Well, there is some uneasy bedfellows when you mix horror and therapy. So, good stuff.
Ridiculous.
What do you say, Aaron?
Pass.
What's your
Aaron
review?
says, not the best of the genre. My review is it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I was in it for a little bit. At the end, I was like, not sure. But I'm going to give it like a very high C. I'm going to give it like, on a 10-point scale, I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Why are we suddenly doing a 10-point scale?
Because you can be more subtle with a 10-point scale, which is what I needed on this. If I used a 5-point scale, then it will be my usual 3.5.
But you could say 3.75 and it would be the same as
3.8222 to infinity. The smile part was stupid. Could be the stare. I would have been more down with the stare.
The stare. We're just going to.
I still like the idea. Something's wrong with Rose sounded better. That sounds better.
How
Smile. So they had to play it up. Sounds teenage.
How do you do a sequel to There's Something Wrong with Rose? Is it now There's Something Wrong with Blanche or something? Whatever the new character's name.
The reincarnation of Rose.
I'm gonna shock you.
I mean, there was no way when this was supposed to be streaming. There was no way when they made this that they realized, there's going to be a Smile 2, a Smile 3, Smile versus Predator, Smile versus Rocky, and the Predator.
Why not? Am I right? Why not? I'm giving it 4 out of 5. Boom.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay. So you're saying this is as good as Blade Runner? Come on, mother. What is that?
I do think it's better than Blade Runner. How about that? Oh, how about that?
How about this? Our local theater is playing that super. We already talked about that super long cut that I hate without the dialogue in the front. So I was like, nope.
I am one of those people, and I've said it 1,000 times, that finds the Blade Runner with no voiceover to be interminable and boring. How about that? So
and why there's like 20 different versions of it?
Correct.
What other movie has 20,000 re-edits, recuts? I mean, so now this is like one of the only movies where I'm like, Blade Runner's playing? Which one?
Which version?
And by that, I don't mean 2045 or whatever.
Which was good. I enjoyed Blade Runner, whatever it is. The Ryan Gosling.
I saw it once. Doesn't it have the music's Vangelis or something? I haven't seen it again. It's probably due for a rewatch. Of course, I didn't love it as much as the first one, but I remember enjoying it.
One. So there you go.
Yeah.
No, I like I said, I thought it was genuinely creepy. There wasn't a lot. You seem to have things you had issues with. I really didn't have an issue with anything about it. That doesn't mean
just let it flow, let it wash.
Just let it wash. And when it hit strong for me. So I give it a 4 out of 5 or an 8 on the 10-point scale if you prefer. So there you go. Sweet Jesus. Any last thoughts about Smile, Aaron?
Yeah, it was better than I thought.
Fair. So thank you very much. We are across the social media landscape. We're on Blue Sky, we're on Threads, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. You can also watch us on YouTube if you prefer.
That's right.
That's right. You can email us the podcast.
I put on lipstick just for that.
Just for that. 100%. You can email us the podcast that wouldn't die at
Gmail.
We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere the finer podcasts are available. So don't forget to like, share, rate, and review. Won't you?
Won't you please?
Aaron, what is your social media situation?
Well, I got work on Artsy and First Dibs, but mostly I'm hanging out on the gram. The Cult of Aaron. Join the cult.
Boom! So check all that good stuff out. Now, Aaron, as you know, and as the world knows, we like to check in with our friends across the internet landscape. So, Aaron, what are the streets saying?
Well, and why by the internet landscape, you're simply referring to the ticker talker. In regards to Sleepwalkers, 1992, someone wrote in, I'm watching this right now, and the line had me rolling. I believe it is the Korn quotes.
Something like,
that didn't even hit anything vital. Death by Korn. People love that.
Fair.
Maria. Very nice. And then Zardock. Richard Roberts writes, it was very strange. I didn't understand the giant head dropping a bunch of automatic hole punches on the ground, but in my defense, I was pretty young when I watched this movie. And Harlan just sent a bunch of fire emojis and lips and smiles. John Boorman, Sean Connery, and Charlotte Rampling. Yes.
Well, clearly they haven't seen the movie. So there you go. Good stuff.
And I went on to a Halloween quiz show with our friends from Gag Me with a Chainsaw. Mm-hmm. And again, not the worst, but nowhere in the ranking. So next year, brother, you gotta come.
What, I'm just gonna leave school for the Halloween week?
Yes, you're gonna take a Monday off. The quiz is on Sunday night or Sunday afternoon, and you'll just take Monday off, and you have to come.
Okay. Well, only if you want to win, I guess is what it comes down to.
That's right. That's right. You're coming. Come. I don't care if Grace is giving birth to a child or a frog or anything.
For God's sakes. Sweet Jesus.
I don't care. You have to come.
I don't care. Okay.
The team's names are by far the best, so we also have to work on that.
We have to come up with good.
And then you'll have to understand that my friend Laura and Heather will be on it, who add nothing to the team, but sit there and order drinks. So there you
that's
go.
Something. Anyway, good stuff. Next week we have a very special episode. Aaron will not be joining us. I'm sad to say. Are you sad?
Aaron's
Aaron?
not sad to say.
I will be doing, sweet Jesus, the Megapod about the Alien franchise, where we discuss every goddamn Alien movie, including the Alien versus Predator movies. You're welcome.
Oh, Lord.
And Prometheus. So you have that to look forward to. We're going to have special guests.
Prometheus.
Well, it is an alien film, but they don't have alien in the title. It should be called Alien Prometheus, but they did not.
Charles Dance is in it. I love Charles Dance.
Charles Dance is in Alien 3. So there you go. Not
stop lying to me.
Stop lying. We'll have a bunch of special guests. We'll have Stu from Stu World Order. We'll have Ed from Film Effect Podcast. We'll have Pete from the Middle Class Film Class. We'll have Carlo from the Movie Loot. And I think that's everybody. Of course, there's somebody I'm probably forgetting. There's like, you son of a bitch, what about me? Anyway, we'll be on it. It won't be
as good because I won't be there, but there was no way I was going to now spend the next week watching 7 movies that I hate.
9 movies that you hate. We watch so you don't have to. Now, some of the movies
That's like 180 hours, brother.
At least. Feels like twice that amount. So check out that good stuff. Send in your favorite scenes, favorite quotes, comments, and questions, and we may talk about it on the show. So, thank you very much, and be well!
I'm just gonna say my last 2 cents is I watched the first 2 episodes of Derry, the new It series, and I'm conflicted. The first one was so traumatic, and the second one was so X-Files. I don't know what's happening, and I don't know if I'm going to continue.
Fair enough. Now, I didn't mention this, but if you want to watch all the Alien movies, they're all on Hulu, all of them, including
I canceled Hulu during the Great Protest.
Well, there's that. You can also watch Alien Earth, the FX series, which I started, which not bad. Not bad. So far, anyway. I don't know. Maybe it sucks in the end. But anyway. Bye!
Bye!